welcome to Mono Rants the Boys, the only boys podcast that is, yep, constantly checking the mic feed. I'm one of your hosts and jack of all trades, Mono, and with me as always is my co-host and master of none, Kira.
I thought that you were having a very mild stroke there.
Oh, I was, but not the same kind of stroke as Marty was having.
Oh, no. No.
Because, yeah, Homelander went home and we saw a lot.
Not enough?
I will say there was a point in this episode where I saw too much.
Ooh. Yeah, well, there was a point in this where I experienced a full body clench in a way I did not know was possible.
Probably the same point as me. Eyes.
Yeah.
Stuff to do with the eyes. I just can't.
No, it was the noise of it scraping off the inside.
No, I was all right with
No,
it.
yeah, I don't have the eye thing.
No, I have a thing about
it.
people touching eyes and just
It's
can't.
teeth for me.
Yeah, everything that they've shown us every single season, every episode, I've never once turned away from the screen until this episode.
No,
That's
Timothy.
just eyeballs, man. Huh?
Timothy. I couldn't.
No, I could watch. You watched Timothy the first time, but then after that,
I couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't watch it the second time.
You made me skip it.
Mm.
But this, I just couldn't watch the screen. I was like, tell me when the eyeball stuff is not happening anymore.
Yeah,
I couldn't.
That's teeth for me. Anything to do with? There's an episode in SpongeBob where he opens his mouth and all his teeth move.
Yeah, I think I know the one.
They all wiggle.
Yeah.
And, no. But yeah, the noise of it scraping off the inside.
Yeah, so you'll have
to. Especially the way she went, scrape it.
Yeah. You'll have to excuse us if we jump over the specifics of that scene later on.
No, honestly, everything in my body would clenched. It was not pleasant.
No, but I don't mention it in the summary. So will we do a summary and get away from it?
Yeah, please. Can we? Thank you. Can I have just naked multiple Rob Benedict back again? I'm sorry for all the bad things we said last week.
I don't think we said anything that bad.
No, but I would definitely take that or the butthole.
That scene seemed to freak out a lot of people, actually, the multiple Rob Benedicts
the human centipede of Rob Benedict? I thought was hilarious.
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious.
It was gross, but it was also really, really
it was very funny. I'd watch that over a termite splitting somebody in half. Anyway, summary.
Yeah.
Butcher is back with the boys because right now they need a bastard. And boy do they, as Sage turns up the heat, giving Firecracker a 6-hour special on Vought to attack Starlight. But as it's broadcast from right next door, the boys decide to do some snooping. Meanwhile, Hughie tries to save his dad and avoid some terrorists, and Homelander takes a terrifying trip down memory lane. I had seen talk before season 4 started, actually, about how Hughie's dad was going to die, and I really thought that was where they were going in this episode.
Yeah.
Until the very end of the episode, obviously, because when it starts, they're like, yeah, that's not the first thing in the episode, but it starts, and Hughie's getting told that his dad is technically, officially, clinically brain dead.
Brain dead. The machines are keeping him alive.
Yeah, and that they're going to pull the plug, pull the feeding tubes, pull everything, basically. And
and then they let you starve and dehydrate to death, which is why they give it 3 days.
I think that's, I think
it's inhumane.
It's a complicated issue, but whatever about the stuff before it, the decision, once you've made the decision to remove somebody's life support.
He'd signed to do not resuscitate. So if he had just had a massive heart attack and his heart had stopped.
Yeah.
And it was instantaneous.
No, but as I'm saying, any of the stuff that comes before the decision, once you've made the decision that you're going to take a person off life support, to me, it just seems really, really horrible and not humane to let them starve to death.
No, I think it's, I think
just euthanize them.
Yeah.
You're making the choice to let them die anyway. You are stopping the life-giving support.
We don't allow our pets to suffer. Why do we allow our loved ones to die in such an undignified manner?
I just don't understand it, because
it really upsets me. It's something I feel quite passionate about. It's something that really, really angers me.
I don't understand it either, because if you're going to removing the tube is as much an act of killing the person as giving them a life-ending drug would be.
Where's the dignity?
Yeah,
and then there's also the additional, the drawn-out process for the family, the waiting.
Yeah.
You've come to this monumental decision.
Hmm.
Yes, some of it is alleviated in this by the fact that he himself has made those decisions for his family.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. The decisions that come before, I didn't really want to get into, because that's case by case kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It's different people, different emotions.
It just drags it out.
But that's why I'm saying once you've made the decision, why wouldn't you just allow them to just actually end?
And you get numerous cases of people who know the end is coming. They want to go out on their terms. they'll save up their medication, they'll squirrel it away, and they'll overdose because they want to go while they're still there.
Yeah.
And they don't want to have that be that burden on somebody. And I know for myself, if I was brain dead,
Yeah.
I don't want my body to be hanging around for my family to have to grieve over.
Nope.
And
Same.
wait. And I can't think of anything crueler than that.
No. Sorry to start in such a downer.
No, but I think it is important, and it's
no, yeah,
having Hughie having to deal with this, and the way the doctor, like, that's the thing, is like, you get the doctor saying it shouldn't be more than a few days, and then it's just a waiting game.
Yeah.
What do you do in that situation? You know, you can't be angry at anybody, you've just got to watch them waste away.
But Hughie can't handle it and isn't ready to let him go, and when we see him later, he's with Kimiko down by docks somewhere. And she's just like, where are we meeting this guy? And then A-Train shows up.
And she's like, what the shit?
Well, she's ready to attack him straight away.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, this is my contact. Like, it's okay. A-Train's not too pleased because he's expecting
he's
MM.
like, where's the goatee, or the goatee-faced Goldie chain wearing guy?
Yeah.
And it's like, MM don't have a goatee no more.
No, he do. Well, he kind of does.
No, he's got a Tom Selleck.
He's got a tiny little bit of a soul patch going on
Is
as
he
well.
getting a soul patch? He's the only person in the world who can pull off a schmeg.
But yeah, Hughie says he's called him there because he wants some V. And A-Train's like, no, like Sage is fucking watching me like a hawk. And you see that actually earlier in the episode.
Oh, when he gets the text, he gets a text in a meeting, we find it, presume that text is from Hughie, and Sage is like lasered onto him.
But yeah, as soon as he looks at his phone, she's watching him and he's like, put the phone back down. But yeah, he's like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm already being watched and you want me to go and take something that is all squirreled away in Homelander's room?
Got it all up in his apartment. He's got every vial. And if that's not fucking terrifying...
Yeah.
Homelander's got all the vials. Hooray!
And I wonder, is there a specific reason or is it just a general lack of trust?
Yeah, because...
Or is it something Sage told him to do?
Well, Maeve had been getting the V24 out. They'd stolen V before Starlight got V out of the lab for Kimiko.
Yeah.
So maybe
it's not like it's not gone missing before.
There was the stuff that he had given himself, though, to that terrorist cell.
Yeah, way back in season 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, A-Train's like, nah, I'm not going to do it. Fuck you. And Hughie is like, look, everything is all your fault. Like, fuck you. This from the very second we met by you running through my girlfriend.
Yeah, everything shitty that has happened to me has been from that moment on.
Well, he says us as well.
Yeah.
He's like, you and me.
And it is, yeah, because that set off a chain of events that has led him to like literally dying and getting a new heart.
Yeah.
You know, his brother's in a wheelchair. Everything can be brought back to him running through Robin.
Yeah.
There was stuff in the lead up to that, but that moment.
And A-Train is kind of like, okay, look, if I do this, are we done? Like, you can't bring this up ever again. Like, you can't hold this over me again. Yeah, because he's like, well, fuck you,
I saved your life, like, a couple of times.
And I don't think A-Train is talking about being done with MM and being a double agent for them.
It's
the personal thing that he's talking about, like.
Because he's apologized to Hughie.
But it's interesting as well because it means that, like, he could have tried to use it as a get-out clause from working with them all together.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. It's just about him and Hughie, which I think is interesting. It shows that little bit more bit of personal development from him as well. Like,
yeah, well, I think he knows that it might be a good idea to have maybe an escape route out of the 7. Yeah,
because he goes and
because he knows that they're after Sage. He knows this.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to get caught in the crossfire.
No, I think
he's always going to be selfish at the end of the day. It's just kind of the way A-Train is.
Well, I think
when it comes down to it,
yeah, I think he knows that what they're doing is wrong, and if he can help the guys to stop them at no real personal risk to himself, he will. But I think that's going to be his thing is when it comes to the crunch. Yeah, when the shit really hits the fan. Which way will he go? Like, he knows nothing of the crunch yet. But after he leaves, somebody takes a shot at Hughie because the whole time that they've been having the conversation, you see somebody's watching them. You were like, I wonder who's photographing them, and I was like, and then they cut back the second time. I was like, oh no, that's not a photo lens. You don't really use snipers when you're playing video games. You're more of a run and shotgun. I tend to be sometimes. I like the occasional sniper rifle. Bit of a spray and pray. So is
I
the
was
guy
like,
who
that
shoots.
is clearly a sniper lens. We game a very different way.
So is the guy who's shooting, though, in fairness, a bit of
Yeah.
a spray and pray, because he's got, like, Hughie right in a headshot and then just, like, shoots all around him.
I don't think they're trying to I think she's trying to capture them.
Um,
Well, they know definitely what to use to kind of incapacitate Kimiko.
yes. That was a nice touch.
Yeah.
Of
But
bringing
yeah,
the grenade
the
launcher
fucking
along.
Princess Hughie tripping and falling over the fucking forklift.
Yeah.
Mangling up his ankle.
Yeah, and Kimiko has to drag him inside,
Yeah.
patch him up very quickly, and informs him, yeah, that's shining light after us, because I kind of killed a bunch of them.
That's so funny. She's like, I kind of murdered a bunch of them. She just the look in her face is kind of like, sorry.
Sorry, this
But
stuff
what are you
happens.
going to do about it anyway? Office warfare. Guillotines. Always good to have.
Yeah, snapping the scissors in half and then grabbing the guillotine.
Yeah.
And I like the way she's
And a
just,
box cutter.
when Hughie doesn't, like, he's like, okay, I'll take the defensive weapon, but, I
Of the
won't.
front of the filing cabinet?
Yeah, but I won't take the offensive weapon. And she's like, no, look, you don't have
this, do this. We know.
Well, but she's like, you don't have a choice here. Like, it's not about I don't want to fight. You've got to, because they will kill you. And she says that to him then, like, you want to save your dad, you fight or you die.
Yeah. I appreciate the use of the box cutter in particular and her showing him how to use it, because in Japan everybody carries a box cutter because that's what they use to sharpen their pencils with.
Okay.
So it's a really common thing for them all to have.
All right, fair enough. But yeah, they burst in, start shooting, and Kimiko takes out one or two of them, and then, as you said, gets
that grenade launcher thing.
Yeah, such a satisfying sound.
Oh.
But yeah, gets a grenade straight to
The
the stomach.
only reason I want a blunderbuss ever is because it makes that really satisfying sound. And it would just be me firing it off, laughing maniacally in a field.
That or a punt gun.
Oh.
See, and you the other week accusing me of being, like, immediately interested in Firecracker because of guns and Redhead, when it's actually you who's more interested in guns.
It's more the noise that they make. And yeah, maniacal laughter.
Yes. But yeah, Kimiko gets taken out and a guy comes for Hughie and he does...
And you know it's nothing serious because Hughie's just like, oh, I'm still being shot at.
Yeah, she'll be fine.
She'll be fine because we were like, oh, that's like, I literally took a whole chunk out of her.
Yeah, but she had survived it a lot.
Yeah,
well,
she's
I don't know about worse,
regenerating
but...
a lot quicker.
Well, she regenerated pretty quickly from that fall.
Yeah, no, but she's regenerating a lot quicker than she did. Like, remember when
The very first time we
Black
saw her.
Noir killed her?
Yeah.
That took a while. Like, I know it was also probably for dramatic effects. We were like, oh shit, they killed her. But at this stage, it's just like, it's okay. She had another guy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's that thing of we've seen it once before. We don't need to hang around for dramatic effect and wait.
She grew that arm really fast.
That was hilarious.
That was hilarious. So maybe the second dose of E has actually like made her powers stronger, because I do feel like she is healing a lot quicker than she used to.
Yeah, but no, I think that is, some of it is just for the expediency of the
Yeah.
show. We don't need to hang around and see her take ages to
Yeah.
regenerate. Because yeah, Hughie gets attacked by the guy and does pretty well.
Yeah.
Manages to hold the guy off and then kill him. And then when he kind of stumbles out of that, Kimiko's already healed and fighting. I think we haven't gotten a name for her, but she's credited as Tala, isn't it?
Tala, yeah. And she is the girl from the flashbacks.
Yeah, because we get, well,
yeah, we get a little bit of the backstory, which is that Kimiko recruited her.
I don't know if recruit's the right word, but yeah, kidnapped her in much the same way that she was kidnapped and forced into it.
And then was like forced to fight immediately.
Mm.
And gave her this scarred her face. And Kimiko she doesn't want to fight her. It's kind of very similar with her brothers. The approach that she had to her brother, where she's like, let me help you.
Yeah, she tries to offer her the hand, and that's when Tala responds by being,
the
like, don't you remember you kidnapped me and forced me into those pits and gave me this scar. Like, I fucking hate you.
But she lets them leave.
I don't think she has much of a choice at that stage. She's been disarmed. But when her and Hughie go to leave, Tala calls out to Kimiko.
Yeah, and Kimiko just keeps going.
Is she... So, yeah, I'd say she does hate her, but at the same time, is she thinking, like, well, she's not with the Shining Light anymore, and she seems to have a thing against the Shining Light, so is there an out? Like, I don't know how much more they're going to focus on her this season.
Yeah, and does she know about her brother?
I don't know. I don't know if the brother will come back into it. I assume we've not seen the last of her, though.
No.
Just because it doesn't feel like they've left it with any sort of
there's
certainty
probably
or closure.
Be
There's
some
more to do.
Moment during, like, a pivotal event.
Hmm.
Shining Light show up and are like, it's some weird version of that alleyway fight sequence from Anchorman, where it's like the boys and
that escalated quickly.
and like the shining light just arriving in the middle of it.
I wonder actually, yeah, well, as
or
jokey,
are they there at the behest of Vaughn?
Well, no, as jokey as that was, I wonder will they have a larger role to play?
Or like them showing up in the middle of like some sort of like Homeland or Starlight or fucking thing, and the shining light showing up in that to fuck shit up.
Yeah, no, I think, I'm wondering, is it going to be more than just a storyline to do with Kimiko's past? Will it actually have effects?
Yeah. Because
Like,
they've been floating
in the
around
now?
for a little bit, and we saw them at TruthCon.
Yeah, and it seems weird to bring them back into it now because we were largely, like, they didn't show up at all in season 3.
No.
The last time we would have seen them would have been season 2 to do with the brother stuff.
Yeah, and that we thought it was kind of the end of it because it was like she opened up about her past, and then her brother died, so it was kind of like, all right, well, I have no family left anymore, I have nothing to go back to.
Yeah.
And now here's another demon. It's the consequences of her actions. Everybody this season is having to face the consequences of their prior actions. Like they really, really are. They've all tried to run, and now they're all showing up to beat them in the face.
Yeah, well, and is it going to be though as well? Like, is it to kind of mirror what's happening with Frenchie as well?
Frenchie's bad.
We'll get on to Frenchie later, but yeah, I wonder.
But yeah, like his choices are coming back. He's having to face those now. Annie is very much having to face choices and decisions she made in the past while she struggles
both
to figure
recent
out
and far-reaching
who she is as well. Because they're all having the same identity crisis. They've all spent so long being told where to go, what to do, being at the beck and call of somebody. Annie was under Vaught's thumb.
Yeah.
Frenchie was under little Nina.
Kimiko
was
light.
under the shining light. is a slave to his OCD.
Yeah.
Who else have we got? Hughie, not so much.
Hughie's
got some, but nothing major. But that's
Hughie's got his past coming to him, but in a different way. It's not necessarily
Hughie's
anything
mom
he did.
gives me the major skeevies, but that's
especially after what happens next.
Yeah, they've all spent so long being told where to go. It's like when people get out of the military. They're essentially institutionalized and having to make decisions for yourself. They can't cope with it.
Yeah.
And they've all made poor decisions because they were unequipped with the skills to critically think.
But speaking of poor decisions, Ashley has made a poor decision in following Cam's advice.
Leave him an upper decker?
When A-Train goes to get the V, and sees Homelander's pube jar and then collection of chilled milk bottles. He then finds the V, and Ashley comes downstairs and is like, "What you doing here?" And he's like, "What are you doing here?" She's like, "Nothing," and he just runs off and was like, "You left a floater in his toilet."
She's like, "No, that was there when I got there."
Worst possible excuse.
Yeah, and then she's like, "What are you doing here?" And he's like, "He'll kill you," and she's like, "You think he won't kill you for going in his little V stash?"
But even
so, it seems they're at an impasse.
Even that kind of cracked me up because it's like, the punishment will be the same for both of them, but their transgressions are vastly different from one. She took a shit in Homelander's toilet.
Not just took a shit, left it.
And didn't flush. A-Train is stealing V to actively work with Homelander's enemies.
But he'll laser the pair of them.
He'd laser the pair of them because A-Train's a betrayal, but Ashley's a human who dared disrespect me. But yeah, they are at an impasse, and it seems like they decide to just be like, well, look, let's not do anything. You say nothing, I say nothing.
And at this point, Ashley was probably like, fuck it, if you're taking V, I don't even want to know, because plausible deniability.
Well, also, I'd say, given how the Deep suddenly changed the other week, how he dealt with Ashley, she might be a little bit worried that if she can't necessarily push the lower soups in the 7 around anymore.
Yeah, well, that's it. They all watched her getting humiliated by Sage.
And
she wasn't in that meeting.
And Deep threatened her, and...
She's not in that planning meeting.
She was.
Was she?
Yeah, she's kind of sitting there watching Sage give all the orders in a kind of, oh shit, she is actually good at this kind of way.
I missed her.
No, it's just a quick shot. It's just a reaction shot of Ashley looking at Sage, giving out all the orders, telling everybody what to do, and it is a kind of like she's kind of good at this.
Yeah.
But yeah, they leave it be for the minute, it seems, and the next time we see A-Train, he's given the V over to Hughie.
Yeah, and they have a bit of a heart-to-heart moment.
Well,
honesty.
Confrontational heart-to-heart, we shall say. But yeah, Hughie's like, A-Train's like, look, are we done now? Or I assume we're not actually done now, and you were just that's bullshit. Like, you
Yeah.
know, you haven't forgiven me and you're not going to. And Huey's like, you know,
You're just going to keep holding it over me to get me to do whatever you want.
yeah, Huey's like, I was just gonna say, you know, fuck you and fuck that, but no, I'm done. Like,
Yeah, life's too
I
short
can't
to
keep
hate
hating you,
anybody.
basically. Well, that's what he says when when A-Train leaves and Butcher just appears from the darkness. He tells Butcher, I did that for me, not for him. I don't want to spend the rest of my life hating anybody.
Yeah, life's too fucking short.
Yeah.
Like, and all you're doing is hurting yourself as well.
Yeah. Butcher gives Huey advice in so much as, don't give the V to your dad. It will not help.
No.
Huey's like, I mean, how do you know? Like, come on, I've got enough here for both my dad and you. Why don't you take it? Like, it's better than brain cancer.
Yeah, he's like, why shouldn't I give it to a diet? He's like, you know, it's the only thing that can save him. Like, you're basically in the same position.
Yeah.
And Butcher's like, well, actually, about 4 months ago, I nicked some made of Frenchie's desk and shot it up. And guess what? It sped up everything.
Yeah. And bang goes my theory, because I was thinking that, I had been thinking that Butcher was going to take permanent V to survive since basically the end of season 3.
Yeah, you're right. He's
like,
just going to take it.
He's going to end up taking
yeah.
permanent V to survive. And that was how I thought it was going to go. And then when Huey actually got the V off A-Train, I was like, this is what's going to happen. Huey's going to have a change of heart, not give the V to his dad and actually give it to Butcher. And no. And it kind of tracks because Butcher absolutely would have already thought of what I thought of and tried it straight away. Yeah. So, yeah, he tried it and it didn't work.
Yeah, there's some weird shit going on with Butcher. And I have a theory about it based off that conversation.
Yeah, well, we'll get onto that in a second, because the only thing that happens after his conversation with Butcher, where Butcher's like, don't do it, quit while you're behind.
Yeah.
You only make things worse, is he goes to the hospital.
Goes back to the hospital.
Listens to Butcher?
Well, he has a conversation with Annie in between all of that, but...
Very brief, yeah.
Very brief, and as part of a whole bigger thing going on. But yeah, he's... The whole situation with his dad, they've taken him off all the life support. His mom hasn't sat right with me since she arrived.
No, well,
her timeline of getting back into contact with his dad to me is really, really fucking suspicious.
Because it's somewhere between Huey first becoming a wanted criminal and him getting the job in the FBSA. Somewhere between those two events, she gets back in contact with
his dad, and the timing for that gives me the skeeves. The way she's acting.
Well, I think I said in the first episode, or I thought...
Nobody's that fucking oblivious. There's things she said.
No, it's not just that.
Like,
when he storms out at the end of the first episode, or the end of the second episode.
Oh, you thought she was going to smile.
Yeah, she's sitting there, and then a tear roll. The camera lingers on her face, and a tear rolls down her cheek. Before the tear rolled down her cheek, I was expecting her to smile, and I was like, going to be like, oh, she's got some dodgy plan, and now I'm like, does she just happen to know what V is because she works for Vodafy and like put two and two together?
Yeah, because he's standing at the end of the hospital bed and he's got the vial and he's considering it. And then he pockets it. And then you hear the voice going, oh, hey. But she's leaning very casually up against the door. How long has she stood there for?
Yeah, how much had she seen?
He puts it back in he's got it in his coat pocket, and he's had the absolute shite kicked out of him. And he's hobbling around the place, and she's like, what happened to you? And he's like, no, I'm fine. I fell. And he takes off his coat and he puts it down. And
goes to get coffee.
He goes off, gets the coffees, comes hobbling back, and she stood at the end.
Well, he holds his dad's hand, and she tries to come and comfort him. And he's like, nah, not a chance.
She stood at the end of the bed, and she's watching him. And then her eyes flick down to the IV, where you see the blue coming up through. And then her eyes immediately flick back to Huey.
Yeah.
She's after injecting his dad.
Yeah, and when
she knows full well what she's doing, and there is something about that woman that I am like, please don't break Huey's heart again.
She's probably gonna, but yeah, it very much looks like Mom has given Huey's dad the V.
Yeah,
and he wakes up, and that's all we get for their story. But back to Butcher
and the V,
because when we first see him at the start of the episode, he's in the shower.
Oh, some butcher boobies.
Yes, you get to see some butcher boobs.
Butcher boobs, and then some weird wormy thing that's climbing around under his skin.
Yeah, it was very X-Files-y.
Yeah,
it was like, what's going on there? And he like
it didn't cross over his eye, which is always the one that.
Yeah. No, there's enough eye stuff in this episode. Thank you. He passes out. Well, like faints and bangs his head on the.
Oh Jesus, that's one hell of a clonk! And takes the shower curtain down with him in a last grasp for modesty in this show, which is hilarious.
Yeah, and is lying on the ground, and Becca's immediately
get up.
Yeah, Becca is there being like, get up. You don't get to die just because.
Yeah,
the world doesn't stop
doesn't-
just because your shitty life
Yeah.
does. Like, get up, you've got shit to do. And he gets up and
drags
looks
his
at her,
ass up, yeah.
and then she kind of disappears. And his relationship with like Mind Becca seems to be slightly different this episode, or is that just me?
Mind Becca is, he's not really arguing with her. She's showing up to tell him what to do more than anything else.
Yeah.
She's just there to give him a kick in the pants every time he's down.
In particular, that one bit later on.
Yeah.
But
I have a theory about all of that.
We'll get onto that in time, yeah, because
Mind Becca's part of that.
we get some awesome TV transitions where they talk about V52, and then we see Tech Night. His
Oh my
next
god,
episode,
the whole truth. Oh,
the next episode of The Whole Truth is about where the God 4 disappeared to.
But we're gonna get some of that.
That's just to remind us and prime us. Hey, don't forget,
but we
some of
also
that Gen V
got.
stuff's
I
gonna
know
come
it was
back.
just a voiceover, but so many whole shots.
Oh yeah, and
just
the whole thing of they have disappeared into a deep dark hole. And we see Cameron Coleman talking about
Singer and all of that jazz.
Which Singer is watching.
Yeah, and he's not very happy about it. Because he's announced this soup bill.
Yeah, that
they need to get. Yeah, they've announced that they're going to be pushing this forward.
Annie shows up and is like, you should hear the stuff they say about me. Bob asks for the room and is like, why are you here?
Yeah, the fuck,
like, unless you can tell me you found a way to kill Vic, this is going to be a short meeting. And Annie tells him, look, I can help you in other ways. I can help you get enough people out on the street making enough noise about this bill that it'll force Congress into passing it.
Yeah.
Your old man marketing isn't working. Let me use my legion of followers, basically.
Yeah, that's the intent. But she's trying to play it the way like Stormfront and all them did, where it's trying to get it out onto social media. Annie's just not very good at that game.
She was good at it when she was the underdog. Like when she was just using sneaky bits that she saw, like when Homelander's talking to her and she's filming him, or what she does outside Herogasm. It's that kind of, but actually like organizing a movement is a different story entirely.
Yeah. Like, and you see like when she has that whole thing at the Believe Expo, all of those moments, like her filming outside of Herogasm.
Yeah.
They're all spontaneous moments. She hasn't done anything that seems to have been planned in the past.
No, and even when Maeve escaped, Maeve says it's that her Starlighters created enough of a buzz with a Free Maeve hashtag that they spooked Vought into moving her.
Yeah.
So that wasn't her actions either.
Yeah. She's just kind of fallen into this role, whereas what the Seven are doing and what Vought is doing is a concentrated effort at something they are very, very good at.
And you see that because when Annie goes back to the Starlight house, Vought are setting up right outside, like literally across the street.
Across the street, in the empty lot across the street, they're setting up a big stage for a 6-hour extravaganza.
Because Annie shows up and she's all like, let's do this and this, and call in Stacey and Mark or whatever.
Yeah,
and they're like,
we've got a big announcement to make because she's convinced Singer that she can do this. And they're like, you need to go outside. Also, side note, Kiara's out of the hospital. Yay! She's in a wheelchair, but I think she might just have a broken leg.
Yes. And other side note, we skipped over Colin and Frenchie talking about Ray Charles and his family getting killed.
Yeah.
But that is basically just, Frenchie gets Colin to open up and tell him about his family, that Frenchie knows exactly what happened to his family, but Colin's like, tells him the story and mentions that he was there at the time.
And he remembers scars on an ankle. That's all he ever saw. But and Frenchie's very nervous.
Yeah, pulls the covers up over
He's like,
himself.
Mon Dieu.
But then, Colin and Kiara are sitting there when Annie shows up and they're like, look outside. They see that Vought are setting up for
and there's like,
Truth
and
Bomb.
it's all like banners, like fucking Firecracker, the children's freedom fighter.
Yeah.
Like real fucking inflammatory shit.
Yeah, it cuts to the
and
Seventh
they've taken
Tower.
over like the whole street in front as well, because they've got all like their crew trucks and everything.
Oh yeah, and it looks like a large chunk of the alleyways around have been taken up by all the trucks and stuff. But we find out what's going on in the Sage Tower when Sage is giving all the
In the
orders.
Sage
Sorry, in the
Tower?
7 tower. Well, it basically is at this
the
point.
Sage Tower at this point, yeah.
But yeah, Sage is giving the orders and saying, right, we've got this 6-hour special from Firecracker that's going to be on every single VOT channel.
Yeah.
We've got the Troll Farm getting like out there conspiracies about like
Yeah,
Twilight.
she's like, by the time I'm done,
it's a great line.
it's like, what, 10 million
I
Americans?
want 100 million Americans to hate Starlight and not even know why or something to that effect. But yeah, it's like, she knows what she's doing.
She really, really does. And then Kevin. Poor sweet Kevin.
The Jeep comes up to her, yeah.
No, when like she's
when he's giving
her
it, he's
thing.
like, dope.
Dope. And she just looks at him like, fuck off, like, ugh.
A-Train.
When
do you not see the way A-Train looks at the Deep as well?
Yeah, like,
as in,
what the
like,
shit?
hang on, why are you suddenly trying to suck up to her?
But I love the fact that when she dismisses them, because she's like, oh, the heroes all have their talking points, you know what to do.
Yeah.
The Noir comes up to her and is like, hey, can I talk to you? And she's like,
no. Still not getting it.
Yeah, Noir's still not getting
it. Maybe he'll turn as well. I'm sick of not getting any direction. At least the boys tell me what to do.
Enough of what's going on. Because nobody will tell him. He's been telling us this whole time. Nobody will give him any direction. He doesn't know what to do.
Just stand there and do nothing until you're told to do something.
Yeah, that's basically it.
That's all Nor did.
Yeah.
The Deep comes up to her and is like, oh, let's go get some more.
I gotta go to Flavor Town.
Flavor Town? Yeah. She's like,
or we just go straight to the Flounder Pounder.
Yeah, you disgust me in ways I can't quantify, and I'm like fucking amazing at quantifying. Deep's just trying to process it, like.
Yeah, no, the way she delivers lines to the Deep in particular, it's so good because it's like, you are so dumb.
Not her best line in this episode, though.
Oh yeah, my pussy.
I got another Flavor Town for you.
It's so funny. I feel so like it's so like that everything that she has to do to herself.
Oh, we'll save that for when we're actually talking about lobotomies.
It's so sad, but just the way she looks at him and it's just like, get away from me.
And it's not, the next conversation she has isn't much better because she goes up to Firecracker and gives her like coup de grace. We don't know what it is yet, but we find out later in the episode. She's like, here's a piece you can finish on.
Yeah.
And
Firecracker's just like, I thought you were one of the uppity ones.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was like, I thought you were uppity, but you're one of
Firecracker.
the good ones.
Yeah.
So, could you have a fucking more loaded racist sentence than that?
And yeah, not...
Doesn't even realise.
Yeah, but she's already called her uppity before.
She has, no, but she doesn't even, Firecracker doesn't even realise she has offended her.
Out.
Yeah. She's like, yeah, you're one of the good ones, and walks off. And it's just, it's bad. You see a little bit of satisfaction from Sage later on in regards that.
When she's watching the broadcast later on, it's very fun. Because
what could be better? Her plan is going exactly according to plan.
Yeah.
And Firecracker's taking a beating. This is perfect.
So fun.
But Annie's bad day continues to go from bad to worse when she realises that Butcher's been re-recruited.
So they found out all the shit's going on outside. They're like, crap. So they're trying to get all these vulnerable people that are in Starlight House, so all the parents, children.
Basically everybody
all
the staff as well, except for Colin and Kira leave.
Yeah, it's not a safe place to be because if she mobilises a mob, they're the target.
They've already had one guy come in with a gun, and that was from a rally that was somewhere else in the city. Yeah. This is across the street.
So they're doing, they're getting kids safe.
Yeah.
So they're getting everybody out, and and Butcher. No, does Frenchie arrive then? No. Frenchie's already in the building.
Can't remember. Yeah, I think because he's probably come with Colin from that morning.
Yeah. They arrive in. She's like, why the fuck is he here? And is quite right in. We need an absolute bastard. We don't have one. This is our one. We do need it.
Well, and
it's what's been missing.
Well, also, I think it's too...
because we need that level of ruthlessness he brings. Like, the only reason they got out alive, well, she wasn't even at the last fucking bomb.
Yeah. Well, also, I think it's not just that we need that ruthlessness. It's like what they're planning is so heinous. We need all the help we can. We need a bastard, but we also need all the help we can get. Yeah. And he's both. He's some help and he's a bastard. So he's back on the team.
We know he's quite adept at information gathering in wonderful, unique ways.
as he mentions, when Annie acquiesces and is like, fine, it's your decision, but I'm against it to MM.
And MM is like, shut up. It is my call, and that call has been made. She gets a lighter version of the Hughie slapdown.
Basically. But
basically because Annie can slap him down if she really wanted to.
Poor MM, he just like all he wants was a little bit of respect, and he's like, it's my decision, and he's back on the team.
Yeah,
and then
he has strengths.
But
that
then
Butcher,
Butcher immediately starts telling everybody what to do because he's like, right then, what is her problem with you, Annie? Like,
yeah,
and
he's seen it. He's like, she's got a big hate
just the point of
specifically for you.
No, but just the point of Butcher
is.
immediately taking charge away from and being like, right here, I'm the one now making the decisions. But yeah, he's right. He knows that she's got as we said, a hate boner for Starlight.
She's like, I don't know, and he's like, you're fucking lying.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, everybody in the room knows you're lying. All you have to do is say, when I was 13, I was mean to her.
Yeah, it's weird that she it's probably just because it's Butcher that's asking her. But it's not like
Annie, he saw you kill a dude.
Yeah, there's it's not.
You killed a guy.
Yeah, you feel shame. You feel shame over it, but nobody else is going to feel as bad about it as you do, or think it's as bad as you do, because to them it is just horrible teenage shit.
I bullied her.
Yeah.
She should have just told them, because then they'd be able to come at it from a different angle, because she's willing to push it so far that she releases news about herself that is vile and disgusting, but then manages to flip it.
But yeah, Butcher's like, right, well, look, if you're not going to tell me, then I need 50 grand from MM from the CIA to go and get some information on Firecracker. MM's like, you think I'm giving you 50 grand and letting you leave this building? You've got another thing coming.
Not a hope in hell, because it's you and you will buy something redonkulous.
Well, what he does buy is redonkulous, but it also gets him the information that he needs. But before we find out exactly what that is, we get treated to a bit of karaoke.
Oh, Jesus, that karaoke.
Which, if you're not the type of person who watches the credits, and you're also the type of person who likes punishing yourself, watch the credits for this episode, because you get the full version of that song.
It's so bad. It's so bad. Like, there's no arranging. There's no nothing. Nobody even tried.
It's so bad that when the car horn that goes past blares, it's more in tune than they are.
Neither. Yeah, I don't know what songs they're singing, but it ain't to each other.
Oh, yeah, it's
and
funny.
It's a talent to sing that badly.
And I honestly thought that I maybe thought that was where things, when Firecracker joins the team, I was like, is the Deep going to try and have a go at her?
No, yeah.
But, well, at least publicly, that's what they're setting up.
Yeah, seems to be.
But yeah, then
and there's like a big, she's talking about how they're going to have a sermon from Ezekiel, who used to be
Starlight.
Huh?
She used to be Starlight.
That's the one.
Pastor.
I'm like a fucking angry dad going through all the names.
Which one are you?
You. That one. Yeah, I was like, he was Starlight's pastor before she fell from God's grace. And Starlight's just watching this being like, oh, fuck me. And then you get the story about Annie's first save.
That comes a little bit later, I think.
Yeah, but like she's really digging in at her.
Yeah, we find out what the 50k was spent on then when MM and Butcher come back, which was a heroin enema for Webweaver.
Oh, lovely.
Who in the comics is only ever mentioned and never seen, and I'm wondering, is it going to be the same in this? Are we not going to actually get to see their Spider-Man?
I really don't want to see Webweaver.
Where does he shoot it from?
I really don't want to see Webweaver.
Where does he shoot it from?
In my head, Webweaver is very, very close to Brundlefly.
Yeah, probably.
And I don't want to see that.
Yeah, but
unless it is the giant spider from Billy and Mandy. Then I'm all for it.
Webweaver's just a giant spider.
Yeah, he's just a any of the insane anthropomorphic giant spiders that exist in cartoons, like the mad one with the nappy from Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Oh, MCP Pants.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my god, he would have been.
I want candy.
He'd be fun.
Yes, MCP Pants.
Yeah.
Or as the cow.
When he's the cow and they sent him off to the fucking apply for the job, but it's an abattoir.
I think we're getting a little off track.
Yeah, and if you don't watch it, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, you're like,
go watch Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
He's an adult now. He doesn't want it.
He needs it. And that's a responsibility.
Well, apparently Webweaver needs heroin.
Yes. And MM didn't need to see it.
Did not need to see it, but I do like the fact that they can't even have normal fire extinguishers when they're dealing with soups. It's a nitrogen fire extinguisher, the one they used to knock out the...
Your man. Oh, it's for a very good purpose later on, though.
No, but like that just seems to be the standard ones that they have around the place.
Well, also Firecracker.
Homefront. Jesus Christ, what's wrong with me and names?
You're having problems with words today.
It's names in particular. Yeah, Homelander, in fairness, is well known for burning down the odd trailer.
True. But Butcher does ask Well, actually, asked Butcher, he's like, when are you going to tell me what the story is with that scar on your face? The gash on your face.
Because he did wang his head off that fucking plumbing.
Butcher doesn't tell him, but does tell him, look, if I'm not around long enough to get the job done, I need you to finish it.
Because he has a bit of a moment of like, oh, I don't feel very well.
Yeah.
As well. And he's like, look, I have to be honest with you.
And as he's asking... he sees Becca as well, but he's like, yeah, you need to get Ryan away from Homelander. Yeah. And MM's like, well, what if he doesn't want to come?
No, he will.
I reckon he'll want to. We didn't see him in this episode.
We didn't see him in this episode at all, but...
And I really want to see him...
After the events of the last episode and the way he left things with Ryan and the way Ryan had the conversation with Butcher...
And after the events of Homelander today... I'd be particularly worried for Ryan, especially given what he found out.
That Ryan is not home when Homelander walks in covered in blood.
Yeah, me too. Me too. We'll get on to Homelander later.
Yeah.
But Firecracker shows up, and that's when we have the thing about the tweet. The lads confront her with the information that, yeah, you groomed a 15-year-old boy.
Yeah.
And you had sex with him. And we're going to tell everybody if you don't tell us what Sage's plan is. And Firecracker's response is to hit tweet and send it.
Because she knows something they don't know.
Yeah, she's like, I may have done this thing, but I have some other shit ready.
She's like, fuck around and find out.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Then she goes and Ezekiel's up on stage and he's doing his whole thing and she's like, I have to make a confession.
I think that comes a little later. Or maybe I have it wrong. Maybe
But that's her response to that tweet going out. Because they go back around to the office and they're like, she's already on stage saying, I have a confession to make.
I'm confused now. Maybe I was written as well. Because when they come back in, they're like, it didn't work. And she starts telling the story about her first save then.
Yeah.
But it would make more sense if that came earlier and after that is when she runs on stage and gives the confession. I can't remember now. Maybe I was shit at taking notes.
Yeah, no, because she tells the story about how Annie... about Annie's first save and how she ended up blinding that person. Annie gets up, Annie's like, well, I was only 13, I was only learning how to control my
she gets
powers.
up and storms
She goes
out.
up and she goes off and leaves. And she's in the office going mental.
It is, and that's when Frenchie says to them,
because
whatever you did didn't work.
When Butcher lifts the keys for the trailer off Thingy as she's going past.
Yeah.
After sending the tweet. And she goes off on stage and they can see her on stage. She's coming out to talk to Ezekiel when he's handing over the keys to Frenchie and is like, well, go toss her trailer.
Yeah.
So, and Ezekiel's there going, you have to confess. And she's like, I have to confess. And then she's like, yeah, I did. And she's doing that thing I hate where it's like a 15-year-old young man. No, that's a boy.
Sorry, I know where I got myself confused because she admits it and then goes straight into the story about Starlight's first save. So yeah, you're right. When she comes on stage to admit it, she uses God as an excuse for her actions as well. And then says, but I learned, but you know who didn't learn is Starlight, and tells the story about her first save.
No, because she's saying, oh yeah, you know, that he turned me towards God, but you know who didn't? And Annie, and that's when she pulls out the medical records. Because she's basically saying, yes, I had sex with a 15-year-old boy, but guess what I didn't do? Which is, and then it's framing it as murdered a child.
Yeah, but when you're saying that's happening when Frenchie's...
While Frenchie's searching, because that's when Ezekiel goes in there.
Yeah.
And then Annie starts beating the shit out of thingy-mabobs. They leave to go help Frenchie. Annie comes out, sees that's when they come out with the big fucking badunk, here you go, here's medical records. She sees that on the TV.
Runs across,
leaves.
And as she's leaving...
MM goes after her because Butcher's already gone to help Frenchie.
Yeah, sorry. Because as she's leaving to run out to attack her, MM and Butcher hear Frenchie saying to Ezekiel over the earpieces,
I'm lost. Because Frenchie's
lost.
also not been very good at, like, covert anything, apparently, at the minute.
Frenchie's about as good as covert options as I am at note-taking, apparently.
Yeah. That's all going on at the same time. That's why she ends up going, and that's when she goes and beats the living daylights out of Firecracker.
Yeah.
And does exactly what Sage wanted her to do. But Ezekiel, I don't think that was in Sage's plan. No.
And I would just like to point out as well the real life comparison of anti-pedophile right-wingers who then turn out to be pedophiles themselves.
It's really common.
Because, that's her whole thing, is Starlight's
Those
pedophile.
that make the loudest noises about it generally have the most to hide.
Yep. But so she does. Annie freaks out when the abortion thing is dropped and beats the ever-loving crap out of Firecracker. And that's when we see Sage watching on TV going, now who's uppity?
Yeah.
Fucking great.
But private medical records.
Yeah, it's
Somebody
not cool.
Violated HIPAA.
But
and
then...
they're just like, blah, blah, blah. But you don't know what those reasons are. I know you hear a little bit about it later on.
No, we know, but they didn't. But then it wouldn't matter to them.
No. And
if it was for some...
off.
Yeah.
All the way off.
Yeah, but as you said, while Annie's beating the crap out of Firecracker, the lads go to help Frenchie, who's getting the crap beaten out of him by...
Yeah, he got thrown out
Ezekiel.
A window.
He gets chucked out a window, but then that moment that the liquid nitrogen...
comes back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he uses it to freeze Ezekiel's arm.
And then shatter
it. It's just... That's one of those beautiful boys moments that I love from the comics and the show, where it's like, what's this person's power and what would be a weakness to that power, and here's how we fuck it up.
But that was like Frenchie's whole thing. Like when you're introduced to Frenchie, you find out about him
the weaponizing Xanax.
And like things like that, and like how to blow up translucent.
Exactly.
And like it being halothane that they use
on Soldier Boy.
So that's like all his things. So generally, but you don't really get to see it that much. That seems to have dropped off.
So I was really happy to see it come back of using their powers or a weakness in their powers against them,
as opposed to just brute force.
Ezekiel doesn't respond too well.
No.
Starts choking the shit out of Butcher with his remaining arm, and then Becca appears. And
I like the way he chokes him out, because he holds on to it at the other side. So I think all he's doing is flexing.
Yeah, he's doing a bar choke, but with one arm wrapped entirely around Butcher's neck. And when Becca's like, "Get up," I was like, "What do you expect him to do?
What are you gonna do? Kick him in the nuts? It's a bar choke. You've got 15 seconds before
and he's
you're
miles away from. So it's not like he could kick him in the nuts.
But it is it's like 15 seconds before you're out.
Depends on the choke, but with that one, probably, like I'd say Butcher is close to
then
unconsciousness.
It's like 30 seconds to death, though. It's like really close.
The thing is it the blackout? Does Butcher black out? And that's when whatever happens.
Yeah, again, all part of my theory.
So, what's your theory?
So, you remember in Diabolical, there's the episode where they give V to the little old lady who has cancer?
John and Sun Hee.
And the cancer becomes its own entity?
And if I recall, that's a canon episode.
That's a canon episode.
Yeah.
I think, because you find out that he took the V 4 months ago, and he took blue V, not green V.
Yeah.
And there's something moving around inside him. I think that the cancer's become whatever happened in that John and Sun Hee episode. I think that the V has done something to the cancer. Yeah. And the cancer is it's ratatouilleing him. And that's what Becca is.
Well, I was going to say, is it that? Or
it's a parasite. I think that his cancer has become a parasite inside him.
I get what you're saying.
So that when he blacked out, it was able to take full control, and it did that.
Well,
he did that to Ezekiel, but it's whatever this has become its own little sentient entity, and it's using Becca as a form of, like, projections of Becca as a form of self-preservation. That's why Becca's different.
That might be a bit too sci-fi-y for this show. I'm wondering, is it more just a case of Becca is his subconscious, and he did actually kind of get superpowers but can't consciously access them, and when he blacks out, then again his subconscious takes control, similar to what you're saying, only without a sentient cancer, but also then what is happening inside him and moving inside him. If it's a whole other sentient being, it might just be a bit too not sci-fi for this show, but it would require an awful lot of explanation when it comes out.
Yeah, but they, like, if they don't know, like, the cancer was caused by the V24. So what has introduced normal V to V24 cells done?
Yeah, well, that's like might it have? That's what I'm saying. It might have split his personality rather than like it's.
And how can you say that's too sci-fi? This shit gives people, like, the ability to, like, teleport, to fly, to have gills, to talk to animals.
Because a sentient cancer that has
What about
taken
that
his
pork?
ex-lover
What about
as a... No, a sentient cancer that has taken a representation of his ex-lover as
No,
a means
maybe
to
not. Okay,
manipulate
maybe
him.
not the Becca
No, it's
thing.
a good...
But it could be a parasitic thing that has, like, if it's sentient enough, because it's come out of, like, if you think that it's brain cancer, so there's, like, neurological tissues in there. It's not too far to think that they would develop enough on their own.
I'm not saying
to
it's
have
a bad idea.
Basic awareness and be like, okay, I need to keep my host alive.
I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I'm not saying it's a poorly thought out idea.
Or it could just be like, you know, those ants, that parasite that takes over ants and makes them go up to the top of things.
And control, yeah.
Is it going to do that to Butcher? Is it just going to pilot him up to the top of a building to get eaten by a bird?
Like, it's a cool idea. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think that's what it is. I think there's too many things going on there.
Yeah. It just, the John and Sunny episode, because like a couple of the canon episodes,
there's
come
definitely
into
something
this.
funky going on with the cancer and the V24. I'm not denying you that at all. I'm not sure it's as tightly related to what happens there with Ezekiel and with Becca as you think it might be. But then you've been right about way more things in this show than I have. So
because I just imagine it basically being like some weird fucked up V venom.
Well, that would be a much easier way to sell it.
That this cancer has become this self-aware, that's like
yeah, I was saying if they did it as a Venom thing, it would then become a much easier concept to sell and a lot less sci-fi.
Yeah,
like I was talking
by
about.
injecting the V, it hasn't worked on him, but it's worked on this abnormal mass and made it
powerful.
Made it a thing. So yeah, it makes sense that he couldn't do anything until he blacked out. He lost conscious control, and then it's able to pilot him.
It could be a Venom type thing, actually. Yeah,
I'm veering between Venom and Ratatouille.
See, if you had just said like the cancer has become a Venom type creature at the start of that, I would have been like, yeah, totally. You over explained it though. But yeah, so when Butcher comes to, Ezekiel is in little pieces.
Oh, he's everywhere. He's like, where's Spoon? He's all over the... not Spoon. Who is it?
Where's Bruce?
Oh yeah, he's
all over there. Yeah, Ezekiel is all over that trailer.
Oh my god, he's everywhere.
In the meantime, MM has pulled Annie off Firecracker and been like, this is all being televised, Annie, you should probably stop.
Yeah, because Annie really... Oh,
Annie's going to town on her.
Yeah. That wasn't a dynasty bitch slut fight. That was Death Becomes Her with the shovels.
Yeah. They find Frenchie outside the trailer and they're getting him up, and MM gets a look inside the trailer and I was like, what the fuck happened?
There's blood everywhere.
And Butcher's like, we need to get out of here first.
Yeah, because Butcher comes around and he's covered in blood
know.
and he doesn't know what's happening.
Well, it looks like he doesn't know, and then it's confirmed later on when he's having that conversation with Hughie in the alleyway. Yeah. After Hughie leaves, he turns to Becca and is like, what the fuck happened back there?
Yeah.
So he definitely doesn't know what happened.
No.
But they get to safety and Colin starts to patch up Frenchie.
Well, I think he's got him back at his place.
Yeah, but they get to safety anyway.
They've scattered to the four winds because...
Well, yeah, I suppose, because the next time we see Annie after that is when she's back in the office and has the brief chat with Hughie. But yeah. Frenchie tells Colin... Frenchie really
Colin.
shouldn't, but Frenchie tells Colin.
He doesn't even tell him, he just shows him his ankle.
He says, it was me.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a bad decision all around. He freaks out at Colin, like, stop being so fucking nice to me, because he's like, I don't deserve it. Like, you don't deserve it, Frenchie, but Colin has no idea why.
Yeah, and you keep punishing
telling him
isn't
going to help.
Like, everybody, every single, like, fibre of his being knows that he shouldn't be anywhere near Colin. Everybody, his closest friend has told him the person who knows his deepest, darkest secrets has told him, you shouldn't be near Colin. His own subconscious brain has told him,
you shouldn't be near him.
It might have been in the form
neither
of Nina, but
neither of those advised him to tell Colin.
No, just leave.
Like, you destroyed his life once.
A breakup is something you can get over. A breakup. It was brief. It was fleeting. You're not good for each other.
Yeah.
Straight up. And you don't even have to tell him that's anything to do with him. You could just be like, look, I'm really fucked up and I'm not in a good place to be in a relationship.
That's a lot easier to get up
you
or
know,
get over
and
it
then
then.
it's not Colin's fault. He's like, but we're both in recovery. Like,
Yeah.
I shouldn't.
No,
be
we
with
said
you.
it before. He should never
There's a
tell him the
million
truth.
other
But I knew he was
legitimate
going
reasons.
to tell him the truth.
Yeah. There's literally like a million other legitimate reasons for him to be like, I can't do this. I work for the CIA. I'm involved in this shit.
Yeah.
You know, how many times have I almost died since you have met me? Like, and I'm afraid I'm going to put you in danger because of what we're doing.
Just thinking about it now as well, actually, it's a bit weird considering when Frenchie did do something really, really bad before, and it was the big thing that we didn't find out for near 2 full seasons.
Yeah.
Mallory's grandkids.
Yeah.
He had not an excuse, but he had a reason that was there. And when that reason was found out, the person who had the biggest problem with him was like, why didn't you tell me? We would have forgiven you. And he was like, because I didn't want to be forgiven.
Yeah.
For him to tell him now, is it just like, oh, I need the punishment?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No,
like,
there is a bit of a, he is punishing himself. Is it because he's like sober and he doesn't know he has no other outlet for that? Like previously, he would have drained out all that guilt with alcohol and drug consumption.
So yeah, I suppose it probably does come from the same place, because he never told the guys about the truth about Mallory and the grandkids.
And a lot of those are all about asking for forgiveness and being honest.
He didn't think he deserved forgiveness for Mallory's grandkids, so that's why he never told anybody, and he doesn't think that he deserves forgiveness now, so he's telling Colin, but like...
Don't tell Colin.
Yeah, it's just a bad move. It's
Colin's
just a bad move.
With the fact that he saw that the person who killed his family for his whole life and didn't do anything about it. Now to find out that person has been an intimate part of your life and known about it and let you sit there and tell that and ask that story. That's the thing, is asking, when he asked that question.
Ask him about it. Yeah, like...
Is it like some sick fucking thing for you?
Like,
for
I know
he have to relive this?
When Colin
knowing you're the person who did that to me?
That's what Colin's going to be thinking, yeah. And when Colin goes to town on him and starts strangling him, and Frenchie's like, do it. That's just what you're assuming was going to happen, Frenchie, was that he was going to kill you, and then you wouldn't have to deal with it anymore. He still has to deal with it, which is shitty, but if he doesn't, what's to say he wouldn't just turn and go straight to the police?
Yeah.
And be like, I found the person who killed the federal judge.
He confessed to me, who was actually his mom.
Yeah. Like, he could just end up in prison.
Yeah.
And that fucks up everybody. The boys are down with Frenchie. Colin, his life has been ruined twice, and you're now in prison, Frenchie. It was just a bad choice all around, and I don't like... I understand why he did it, but it's just stupid, and I don't like it.
He should never have let it get to that point.
No, he shouldn't have, and he was wrong.
The second he saw him, he should have run the other fucking way. The second he heard that name, he should have run the other way. And
I don't know, I know comics Frenchie wasn't exactly a good guy, but he didn't kill kids.
Yeah.
Like, I know this Frenchie is a more complicated character, but I'm like, you're just doing this so that we don't feel so bad when you kill him off at the end of the season or at the start of the next season, or like, is that at the back of my mind that's ticking away? Is are they doing this with Frenchie to soften the blow of getting rid of the character? Is what I keep coming back to, and I'm like, don't like character assassinate him
already know
before you actually assassinate him.
He wasn't a good person, because like when you meet him first, he's like running drugs and guns for like all the different gangs. We don't need to take his character down more. He's not a good person. We know this.
No, but it wasn't until last season when little Nina got involved that we found out like all the nasty shit that he used to get up to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I assumed he had killed people in the past before, but
he was recruited by the CIA. He's not a good person.
Yeah. It's just
they were like, you have, like, he pulled off a bank heist and they were like, you have talents we like.
It's just, Frenchie keeps making stupid decisions and I feel like they're leading towards his death and I don't like it. I don't like it one bit.
You keep doing the stupid thing.
Yeah, and speaking of things I don't like, I do not like what Sage has to say to the Deep. Well, I have no problem with what Sage has to say to the Deep. It's what she gets him to do that I have a problem with.
Yeah, I'm back to the more traditional style of instrumentation.
Of lobotomy instrument, yeah. I think they just didn't want to give up the ghost so obviously at the end of the last episode that they'd have people questioning, and then you get your answers in this episode of, yes, she does in fact lobotomize herself. And it's interesting that it's her brain that regenerates.
Yeah, you can stab me in the heart and I die, but my brain just does not stop growing. So
her superpower isn't necessarily super intelligence, but that just a really super well functioning brain that never has
synapses.
Yeah, exactly.
Synaptic connections, all that stuff that normally starts to degrade over time. She's just constantly growing.
Yeah, so as she says, you shoot her in the heart, she dies. You stab her in the brain, And that brain's just going to regrow.
Bitch just grows back.
Yeah.
So for a couple of hours of being not herself.
Oh, because it's the Deep comes to confront her. He's like,
Yeah.
you're a bitch,
He's
then
like-
you're not a
he's
bitch,
like,
then you're a
"Fuck
bitch
you."
again.
Yeah. What the shit? How come you did this? And she explains to him why she does it because she can't switch off any other way.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, it'll grow back because like the first time you see her in the episode is when she's giving all the
Oh, yeah, she's fine the second.
and she's fine, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah. So the only regeneration she has is in her fucking brain.
Yeah, so that's obviously why it was
well.
moderate regeneration. She can't regenerate anything else, but she can regenerate her brain.
So yeah, she's not going to take chemical drugs, because they'll have a normal effect on her body.
Yeah.
But they won't do anything to her brain.
Hmm.
But yeah, lobotomizing herself.
Well, also they might not
Gives her a
work
few
on
hours.
her brain
Yeah. Depending on
because
what way her brain. Yeah, if it heals.
yeah, if it's
like
trying
that.
to trying to alter the brain chemistry, the brain might just be like, no, it doesn't need
That
to be
would
altered.
be
It goes back the way it was.
So fucked, because your whole body would be like, I don't work no more.
Yeah, but your brain still being your brain.
Yeah.
So
I'd be
yeah,
like,
the
why
lobotomy,
can't I get up?
like we said last week, it's dark, but it's understandable.
Yeah.
And
Having him do it to her, but like when she's explaining it to him, and he's like, that's a weird looking dildo, and she's like, no, I want you to put it in my eye, but not in my eye because I don't want to go blind. Like,
yeah, she's like, careful, not actually in the eye.
And he's like, I don't want to do this, and she's like, I'll let you ass fuck me while we watch the Kim and Ray J tape, and he's like, cool,
So how are we
where
doing
do you
this?
want me to put this? Where do you want to do this? He is a simple man.
He is, and I think she tells him because when she does the lobotomy, she becomes a simple woman.
Yeah.
And she knows that
I like the way she goes,
every time,
hey.
but every time she does it to herself, she's probably going to want to fuck the Deep.
Yeah.
So eventually she's going to have to explain it to him. So she may as well just explain it to him now and let him in on the secret so he knows. And he's quite happy with it. But yeah, her line of, hey, I got another flavor tape right here.
For you.
Oh, it's so good. And just another excellent layer of acting from Susan Hayward, because she's great as Smart Sage, but she's so funny as Dumb Sage as well.
Oh, I love, Dumb Sage. So sad, but so funny.
And then we cut to Vic on the news, I think, as they start getting it on. Does it cut to the TV and we see Vic on the news?
Yeah,
denouncing Starlight.
How she can't believe Bobby Singer would be associated with somebody like that, and like she called Starlight a friend as well, and it's just so dangerous. Starlight gets a phone call that's off Singer that's basically like, well, you tanked it for me, fuck you.
Oh
fuck
yeah, well
everything.
she's back in the office and has the conversation with Hughie where we find out that
it was a decision
they both made,
because that was the thing as well. You're like, oh fuck me, does Hughie know? Like, did she go and do this in secret? Because 6 months ago was during the Temp V thing. Like, could she just have been like, everything is fucked and I don't know what's going on?
And I don't want no soup, baby.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like, did that increase the chances?
But no, Hughie...
You find out it was a mutual decision.
Yeah, Hughie knew because he's like, that was private between us. They have a bit of a chat, and then Hughie leaves to go and see his dad, which we've already talked about. And yeah, she gets a phone call from Bob being like, you royally fucked me.
Yeah, well, like, him and Kimiko are there, and Kimiko's thrown out all of her stuff.
Oh, all her speech therapy books,
all her speech therapy stuff, and she sees Annie come in, gives her a hug, so presumably she's aware of what was going on. Annie being really the only other girl that's there.
Yeah.
Having a chat with, probably would have spoken to her about it.
Or at the very least, she's now seen it on the news. Like Hughie did. But yeah, it gives her the big hug. But when she gets the call from Bob and he's just like, well, that bill's fucked. Thanks very much.
Yeah, just tearing her ass out. Like, fucking.
I would have thought it might have been a nice bit just to have somewhere else dotted in the middle of the episode if they had something from Bob showing that Bob...
Yeah, because
Annie says, I'm going to make an announcement. I got the
impression when she comes into Starlight House that they're going to put out a press release about something saying that they have the backing. But
presumably that about Bob Singer, but I'm guessing Annie never gets to put out any press release about that. Yeah. So somewhere in the background, Bob obviously has, because Vic is giving the news interview saying that the two of them should not be, you know what I mean? Like, Bob shouldn't be associated with Starlight. So yeah, maybe if there was just a bit somewhere, like Cameron Coleman saying, and now, as if Bob Singer wasn't bad enough, he's supporting Starlight too. Just something small in there so that when Bob does ring her, we know she has shat the bed on it or whatever it is he says. Like,
yeah, because it's a bit like, oh, I can't be seen with you because you're not credible. And it's like, but were you really associated with her outside of your want to prosecute Homelander?
Yeah, because from our point of view,
because he's never seemed to be making any sort of blatant stand on either side. Like, he is very anti-Vought, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's pro-Starlighter.
No.
But this is going back again to the fact that politics in America is very, very black and white. You're either red or blue.
Yeah.
In this case, you're either blue or yellow, which just seems to be pro-vote, anti-vote.
Yeah, and I think maybe he didn't want to get involved in that. Like, he's putting forward this anti-soup bill, but that's a specific to Homelander and Starlight. They're having their own QAnon fight over there conspiracy shit that I don't want to get involved in. And then Annie comes to him and is like, well, yeah, look, I can actually help you.
Help you with this. And no, she does not.
No. But I understand why.
Like, it would have been kinder to just take Bob, like, Singer out back and put a bullet in his head.
Yeah, that's definitely not going to help, and it's not going to get that bill passed, I wouldn't think.
No, and I actually really like the whole, the thing where you see when MM's taking her away and all the phones are live streaming it, and you see that shot with all the different hands holding all the different phones. And then Sage going, the first pebble.
Yeah, the first pebble comes down the mountain.
Yeah, and it was like, ooh, yes.
Yep, and that's all we get. Well, that's pretty much everything except for the Homelander stuff.
Homelander.
Yeah.
Homelander went home.
Yeah, and just like overall, without talking about any of the specific scenes, they do a really good job of, when we've talked about Homelander's past before, like especially in season 1 when he goes to see Vogelbaum, you feel sorry for Homelander.
Yeah.
But in this episode, when we're finding out about some of the worst stuff they did to Homelander, you don't feel sorry for him.
No.
Because of the way he is. And that's a very fine line to tread. And the show has done it well, that they're showing us stuff like, that should give us sympathy for him and has in the past.
Like, who is the real monster here?
Well, it's a monster that created... A monster that was a conglomerate of people created another monster. That monster is coming back after the sum of the first monster's parts.
Yeah.
Regardless of how big or small a role they had to play in it.
Yeah, because can you really blame Homelander for reacting to things the way he does when this was how he was raised? Or is it the child's fault? Or is it the child that had all this stuff happen to, who became a man and was given wealth and power after all of his formative years basically being tortured?
Yeah.
He's never been taught how to interact with anybody socially, anything like that. He's missed out on all of that stuff. But the scientists that conducted those experiments, and I know they all say, "Oh, I was doing my job," and this, that, and the other. But at the same time, you were experimenting on a kid. Yeah,
and it doesn't matter how
much as you try to. It's the same thing with Garcia in Gen V.
Cardosa.
It's like, oh, do you want to go back to doing labs? Or the thing you really want to do, which is cutting them up.
Yeah.
Where they were trying to make the ultimate superhero, but they forgot that at the end of the day, it's a little boy.
I don't think they forgot. They just didn't care.
Yeah.
Like, they were developing a weapon, you know?
Yeah.
And this weapon just happens to be sentient.
They gave him a name.
Yeah, no,
like
it's...
they gave him a name. They humanized him themselves. If they really wanted him to be a weapon, they wouldn't have given him a name.
Well, they wanted a weapon and a product.
Yeah.
That was the problem, was they wanted too many things.
Yeah. They also made him way too powerful.
You could have... Everybody in that lab, when he comes out the elevator, even though he's got a cake, everybody in that lab knows.
We're all going to die right now.
Oh, we're fucked.
Yeah, well, because it's like immediately this poor security guy is like, oh, all the camera feeds are gone upstairs.
Yeah.
And then it's the elevator coming down.
And then the phone lines are gone.
They're like, ring Vought. And I was like, why don't you have panic alarms?
Yeah, you should have
You should have panic alarms.
Especially now.
Yeah. Seems like a good idea. And they're like, oh no, all the phone lines are cut.
Yeah.
And the elevator door opens, and that poor fucking security guard who, like, fair play to him, he does his job.
I think he dips out.
Do you reckon he got back around?
I think he sneaks into the elevator and dips out, because he puts the gun away pretty quickly.
And then runs out of the way.
And I reckon, whatever about, like, various scientists, I reckon all the security lads in Vought know the score.
Yeah.
George got killed last week. What the fuck happened? Oh, they sent him to try and get fucking Ryan from a cabin in the woods, and Homelander killed everybody. Like, those security guys know how many people Homelander has killed. So he puts the gun away and sidesteps very quickly. And then I don't recall seeing him in any of the other scenes.
No, but... when he's asking for Barbara and he says, go get her, if there's no because I was like, well,
somebody's got to go get Barbara, yeah.
So they sent the security guard. Because he doesn't care about the security guard. He's not interested in the security guard.
But I also don't think he'd let
any of the lab workers leave because they're the ones he has a beef with. So they probably sent the security guard.
I don't think he willingly would have let anybody go.
No, but he also cut the phone lines.
Yeah,
so he knows somebody's got to go up. He doesn't care about the security guard at all. He wants he wants Barbara there more.
And because he's quite happy to kill some of the new faces who would have had, he's like, when he says, I see some new faces, like they wouldn't have done anything to him because they're new faces, but they're still working on the project.
Yeah, Project Odessa.
Yes, because you get the name when it's
panning over all
pan
stuff.
Across stuff. You see,
and some of the wonderful photos of young Homelander looking extremely surly.
Oh yeah, when it's Barbara, Frank, Marty, and I'm guessing it's supposed to be Vogelbaum. They just couldn't get the actor back. And then
there's a mock-up as well. It says 1987 and it's like 4 costumes.
Mm.
So they were already planning on what way they were going to take him, like what costume they were going to put in, and while there's also experimenting on him to see what his limits are.
Yeah. However, if you are like us and you tend to pause things to read things, the only thing that's worth reading there is the memo.
Because everything else
is just gibberish. Now, it's hilarious to read, but it's pure gibberish. And the memo is basically just about NDAs and how you're not to take any material out of this place and you're not to talk to anybody about anything or you will be terminated.
But we get a project code now.
Odessa, which I'm assuming is going to be important because the fact that they called that you can see Odessa means that we're probably going to get something else about that, because otherwise they would have just called it something obvious like Project Homelander, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, without going into every single bit, some of the shit that Homelander gets up to down there, and just the performance from Anthony Starr of portraying the anger, the hurt, the fear, the veiled kind of threats that he has, the way he is trying to make them at ease but doesn't want them to be at ease at the same time. It's just, again, hats off to Anthony Starr. That was a fucking excellent performance, particularly after Marty.
Oh, with the waste paper basketball?
No, that's Frank.
Oh, is that Frank?
Yeah,
Marty,
Frank.
You're your assistant director now.
Yeah, Marty's the one who he makes jerk off.
Yeah.
But when after he shoots Marty straight through the dick, and he walks over and he's laughing at him and saying, "You got dick blood on my shoes" and all that. That is just manic. Homelander is completely gone off the rails in that.
I liked it when they finished all eating the Fudgy the whale. It looks like a crushed skull. Because the way the white frosting is, it looks like the top of the mandible and then some of the teeth. And that's how, when Barbara is stop it, the way she speaks to him.
Yes, because that's what as interesting.
She's been in so many things. It's all been little bit parts around the place. She's one of those I know you.
Yeah.
But the way she speaks to him, it's like speaking to a bold, it is speaking to a bold child. But she's very matter of fact. She tells him information that he doesn't even know he needs.
That's the best
hide
stuff.
Anything from him.
What happens to Frank and what happens to Marty is good fucking TV.
Oh, Frank in that fire.
Yeah, and the way Homelander leads up to it with the chat about seeing things from different perspectives.
When he puts his hand on the glass, and then it catches fire.
Yeah,
that's the one that got me. That because he's gasping for air, and you can see all the you can see all the fuzzies on his jumper are starting to sizzle off.
Yeah,
and also that would never heat up that fast.
No, it wouldn't heat up. It wouldn't get to that heat that fast.
It looks like it's set up actually as a kiln.
Yeah,
and that they are cyclical. They take 2-3 hours to come up to that temperature.
When that room was at heat, it could absolutely have done that to that man.
Oh god, yeah.
But for
not that
Homelander
quickly.
Closing the door and it being just another room that's at ambient temperature to get that hot wouldn't have happened that quickly. But again, it looked cool.
It did look cool. His hand going up. I don't know why that was the bit that I was like, oh no.
But then his story from Marty, because the story from Frank is just
about how different people remember things differently.
Oh no, but in terms of from Homelander's perspective, what the story the stuff to do with Frank was they were doing experiments on Homelander to see what he was like, and they were horrible experiments. But the story with Marty isn't about anything horrible they did to do with turning him into Homelander. It wasn't about testing his powers. It wasn't about anything like that. It was just about humiliating a poor kid. And I think that one hurts Homelander nearly worse.
It's part of the dehumanization as well. The whole idea of a kid in that oven screaming and people are just watching you, and there's one guy in the back who's not even watching you.
He's not even paying attention.
Yeah.
He's playing fucking bin basketball, and then as casually as he throws the paper into the bin, he turns the temperature up.
Yeah.
The two actions are basically the same thing to him.
And he
whereas
doesn't
for Homelander,
any of those moments.
Yeah, and then similarly with Marty, that was Homelander's only alone time that he ever got with himself was a few minutes a day when he knew they were off on rounds or whatever. And as a teenager, he jacked it because that's what teenagers do. And at his most vulnerable, at his most private and lonely and comfortable, and the only good time he ever had, somebody comes in and completely... Those few minutes
of bliss following completion.
But somebody comes in and completely shatters that for him, and not for any experimental purpose, just to be an asshole. And I wonder from Marty's point of view, was it a case of, like, to do with what Barbara's saying, everybody was terrified of you.
Yeah.
All the time.
The only way we could control you was to belittle you and put you down so that you...
Not even control, but for Marty, was it a case of, that's the only way I can feel comfortable around this kid? If I can laugh at this kid, he's not this big terrifying thing who could flip out and kill me at any moment. It's he absolutely is. It's just,
she's talking about they brought in all these psychologists and, you know,
that's the interesting thing.
Like that, like humiliating. Is that part of this bigger scheme? Like, was that...
I think that was... No, I'd say that was as a direct result of what she says about his birth.
How about he doesn't like to disappoint?
Well, yeah, no, but I think they were... I'd say that bringing in the psychiatrist was... You know when she tells the story about his birth, which is exactly how it goes down in the comics.
Yeah.
Only I think...
Yeah, because the image of him hovering, the baby covered in all, like, the gunk.
Yeah, with the glowing eyes.
Yeah,
and that's how it goes down.
And the girl's just ripped to shreds.
Yeah.
Basically, you know when Butcher gets the story of what happened to Becca?
Yeah.
It's that.
Yeah, it's even worse in the comics, like, as well. But yeah, so his birth kills 5 people.
Yeah.
His own mother / person who was bringing him to term. And
they don't say if it's her egg or not. It's just that
they paid somebody to bring it to term. But yeah, so he kills 5 people the instant he's born.
Yeah, she said, and then it was only downhill from there.
So they knew that there was never going to be any way of physically controlling him. So I'd say they very quickly made a decision that as soon as we can have any effect on his psyche, we need to immediately start having effects on his psyche. It's sinister. It's so sinister.
I wonder how involved the CIA were in that, because we do know they definitely did do some sort of brainwashing on kids. That whole training shit.
Oh, in real life?
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
I wonder if the CIA had anything to do, or were aware of it, or had maybe borrowed some of their techniques.
Probably, yeah. I don't know that they would have had anything to do with it, because when when Soldier Boy gets sold to Russia, CIA don't really seem to have anything to do with that.
No.
Beyond it just being convenient that they're on a CIA mission.
No, but it's just interesting that is something that has been explored. Of, like, training up kids, using them as sleeper agents.
Yeah.
There's a brilliant bit in American Dad where, like, Haley was in one of those as a kid.
Yeah.
And she has, like, the
somebody accidentally says her trigger phrase or whatever, yeah.
Like, and then bringing in all these psychologists because they were all terrified of him. She's like, we knew we couldn't control you. You could have left here. And when she says that, she's like, you could have left anytime you wanted, but you didn't want to. And you can see the smugness draining off his face.
Yeah. Because
she's telling him the truth. She's like, they were all terrified of you. And she's like, and you weren't. And she's like, we knew that we couldn't control you.
Yeah, it's for her being like, I wasn't afraid of you.
She said, look, they were all scared of you and they were only following our orders.
But if she wasn't afraid of him, I get the impression that it was more to do with the fact that she was like, well, it's out of my hands.
Yeah.
Like, if he's going to flip out and kill us, there's nothing I can do to stop it, so I may as well just...
She'd have known what he did to Vogelbaum.
She'd know, yeah.
What everything. He did to Vogelbaum. And, like, yeah, he didn't kill Vogelbaum. He did.
She says of everybody else, including Marty and Frank, they were following orders. Mine, Stan's, and Vogelbaum's. Yeah. So they were the 3 top ones.
Yeah.
And obviously they were the 2 top scientists.
Yeah.
You can see, even from the way she walks in and talks to him, the way she says to put Marty out of his misery.
Yeah.
And she says it with a tone of voice of, I shouldn't have to be telling you this. You know this already, John.
Yeah.
Like, you know what you're doing to him is mean and unfair, and you should have put him out of his misery already, and I shouldn't have to be telling you this. That's the way she delivers that line, and he does it.
Him the way we give out to the cats for toying with things.
But it's a tired, distressed mother who's just like, you know better than
it's
this
just like, oh,
kind of thing.
For fuck's sake.
It's not the full-on disappointment. It's like...
It's the, if I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times.
And it works.
Yeah.
And then we find out, as you've already said, we find out quickly why it works, because they conditioned him to do that. But I think telling him that is probably the worst thing you could ever have done.
Yeah.
Because while it was always going to be hard for him to get over his need to be loved, and he has issues with his need to be loved, and he doesn't even like it, you telling him that was something that was artificially instilled in him is only going to make him want to get rid of it even worse.
Yeah, but how is, like...
Will he be able to? I don't know.
Will he be able to undo years and years of very fundamental conditioning that are a very core part of his personality?
Or is he going to go, well, do you know what? Maybe she's right. I can never remove this from me. But what he says to her about Ryan, my son, I'm not human, and neither is my son.
But can he undo 10 years of a mother's love?
I don't think he can, but whereas before that might not have been his plan, now that he knows that they actively did this to him, he might try and actively do the opposite to Ryan. And that's kind of scary.
Just a little bit.
And especially as things were left with Ryan and Homelander in the last episode. Because as that conversation ends, he says to Barbara that he really wants to tell her, after she's given him the information, he's like, I still really want to tell you why it's called the bad room.
Yeah.
And we don't find...
It's just a storage room now as well. Like,
we don't find out why it's called the bad room, but we see what he does.
Yeah, he rips everything to shreds.
He rips everybody to shreds.
I like the thing with his marker, his height on the wall.
Oh, and when he gets to 16, it becomes the Homelander. Yeah, but yeah, he kills everybody and he leaves her alive.
Yeah, but I think she's locked in there.
I think she is as well, and I'm like, are we going to see her again, or...
I don't know.
You never know with this show, because we very much thought Vogelbaum was dead come the end of season 1, and then he reappeared. Now, he wasn't in a good state, but he still reappeared.
Yeah.
This show has a tendency to surprise me even when I expect it won't. So, yeah, she might well come back, but that's all we get for the minute.
Yeah, no flying sheep.
No, we're still waiting on the flying sheep.
I'm not really fussed about when the flying sheep show up, to be perfectly honest.
No, I just know it's going to be fun whenever.
It'll be hilarious when it does.
I just thought it might have been this week because, as we said last week, he was
going
home.
Yeah, we were like, there's a good chance if this is somewhere where they're experimenting with V, like they're going to have lab animals. Like it kind of, if this is like their main experimentation facility, which you would assume, or it's their super secret, top secret one. Yeah. And they are 6 levels underground.
They're still doing other experiments there.
Yeah, like they're still there. Yeah. They're still working on it. Like, yeah, his cell might have been turned into a storage room now, but they haven't taken things like his height markings off the wall.
No, and that's still a lab.
It's still a lab, but it's very
lab
much
equipment.
The lab that Homelander grew up in. Like, there's touches of him all over it.
Yeah. And I'd imagine that, they kept doing work of a similar vein in there after Homelander left, whether it was research related to Homelander. Well,
they were saying they pretty much, I don't think they made any other soups after that. Vogelbaum was
No, but they might still have been researching stuff on Homelander and, like historical related stuff and going back over stuff or testing new things. But yeah, I think if the boys find out what Homelander got up to and go to explore...
That might be when we get
the
lab animals.
But look, we got Jamie.
Yeah.
And I'm still kind of more curious about Sloane and Gen V. So we'll let the farm animals come when they come. But as for this episode, it was... I don't want to say it felt like a short episode, but it moved through it very fast.
It was very punchy.
Yeah, and I think there was very little dead weight.
Yeah. It threw, and especially because you've got the madness of this live broadcast.
Yeah.
And shit's changing on a dime because it's going out live. So everything she's saying is affecting everything that's going on around them as well.
With the exception of the Homelander stuff.
And Homelander's completely removed from all of it. He's off doing his own thing. He has no idea that all of this shit is going down. Well, he probably does.
Well, I say he knows about the Firecracker having the 6-hour thing, but what happens at it, he probably doesn't know. But I think, because Homelander's so removed from this episode and nearly everybody else is tied into the Truth Bomb show in some way. Hughie's a bit separate, but him and Kimiko still come in and out of the rest of it.
Yeah.
Everybody else is related to that other plot stuff.
What's going on with Hughie and now his dad's possible recovery is going to have a knock-on effect to everybody else.
Especially if it has given him superpowers.
Yeah.
And all the stuff to do with his mom. As usual, they've answered some questions and left us with more.
Yeah.
But it was overall just another feckin' excellent episode.
Yeah, no, his mom gives me the skeeves and I don't like it, and I just, there's something about her that doesn't sit right with me.
No, agreed. Agreed. Really want to know what is going to happen with underneath Butcher's skin / with Ezekiel.
Yeah.
What the hell's going on there? And obviously then Homelander and Ryan is going to be interesting in the next episode if we get it.
Yes, it's all coming together.
Yeah, well, we'll have 3 episodes left, so they tend to kind of 5 and 6 will be big kind of eventy episodes, I reckon, and then 7 and 8 will start. Huh?
4 episodes.
Sorry, 4 more episodes. So yeah, 5.
Sorry,
no.
I was just doing math on my fingers there for a second.
5 and 6 will be more big events, and then 7 and 8 will start to tie everything back together.
Yeah.
Well, 7 will start to tie everything back together for our final, and 8 seems to be kind of how they do their seasons a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But yeah,
which makes sense because you get all the build up. You get an event that's like a big Herogasm was a big turning point event.
Yeah, Sage Grove was episode 6 in season 2. Yeah, they tend to kind of. They
That's,
have a formula for how the season runs overall.
And I like it though because it gives enough time for events to wrap up. You know, because things get to like episode 22 and like half the storylines are still running and you're like,
when are they going to wrap this shit up?
Yeah, and
how are they going to wrap this shit up?
15 minutes left of the fucking show. Come on.
Oh shit, it got cancelled.
Yeah.
Salem was one that was particularly bad for that. It was like,
Salem
there's so many threads dangling. What's happening? Oh shit, they wrapped everything up in one episode really quickly. Oh, that was disappointing.
Oh, they got cancelled. Oh, that explains it.
Yeah. No, they're never guilty of that. It's like, you know, like you said, episodes 1, 2, and 3 are kind of a bit of a self-contained story, set up the season.
Yeah. It's like, here's all the threads we're going to be following. Yeah,
4, 5, and 6 is like the body of the season. And then 7 and 8 are wrap up and finish off.
Yeah, but it works
I like that. I like that format.
It's quite a large cast. Like it's a really big cast. Now, not just main, but like when you got all the ancillary characters going on as well. Yeah, it is nice to see Satisfaction as well because it's annoying. The only one in this is fucking what's her name from Sage Grove. We've never had a resolution.
Cindy's about the only dangling thread this show's never come back to.
You were saying that the actress actually was cast in something else.
She was cast in something else.
Yeah. So I would love to see Cindy come back just because. Loose end.
I think it might be too late to. If they brought her back now, it might just raise more questions.
I wouldn't care if I just saw her in the background or something. To be perfectly honest.
Could you imagine if she was the new Black Noir?
Oh, that would have been so funny.
I doubt it, but could you imagine?
Yeah. No, it's clearly a dude.
Yeah.
It's a dude that nobody will talk to.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they'll bring her back.
Or
maybe we were wrong and it's not a dangling thread and she was always just supposed to be a red herring, so he didn't look at Vic for the head popper, because I remember at the time a lot of people were like, Cindy is the head popper because look at what she did to the guards and stuff. But yeah, just because Cameron in the 7-on-7 talked about somebody killing hitchhikers and we were like, that's fucking Cindy. But yeah, apart from Cindy, they're very good at not leaving plot threads hanging loose, and I don't expect they will this season either. So yeah, can't wait to see the next 4 episodes. I assume they'll be just as good as everything that's come before.
Yeah.
As for us, we will be back next week. Thank you for joining us, guys. If you want, you can head back and check out our previous episodes or our other podcast, Mono Rants at the Movies. Or you can come and chat with us on Twitter at RantsMono, on Instagram at monorants_the_boys, where somebody actually came and chatted with me on Instagram, of all places, last week. Hey, Francisco. Or you can send your own rants to monorantspodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.